here. Hope all is well. Welcome to another live right here where we talk about all things living well and building a strong home economy from the soil up. You guys, it's Monday. It's Observation Monday where we look at what's happening in the garden tents, what's happening in observation tent number 1, tent number 2, and tent number 3. I'm super excited to go out into the garden and show you what's happening in the tents. But before we do that, I want to show y'all what's happening in this good kitchen, y'all. So I have been busy. I have cooked 2 turkeys and I'm about to cook another one. Thank you. Thank you so much. For me, it's all about this season is not just about Thanksgiving, but it's about preserving. Turkey is the least expensive product right now on the market. So, baby, get you some turkeys, cook them up in a pan, and preserve them for the coming year, whether that's in a canned way, whether that's in a freeze dryer or in the freezer, whatever way you choose. But baby, I do all of them. And so I'm super excited. What do I think about? Oh, I don't know. I think God loves you. How about that? So let's take a look at what's happening in my good kitchen here. Today, listen, y'all, this is my 48-hour bone broth, okay? Because let me tell you, if you haven't learned yet, bone broth is key to good health, okay? We're going to look at this. This is the first turkey that the remnants from the first turkey. And what I do with the bones, baby, is I put some good veggies in there. I let those bones cook for 48 hours and we get some good old bone broth. Now, what I will do is I will take out the meat and I will freeze dry the meat. And then I will leave the bones in there for a little while longer. And baby, we gonna get some bone broth. And I will pack that bone broth up for the year and we're gonna have some good old medicine, right? The next thing we're doing here in the kitchen, let me get that piece of turkey. So good. In the oven, in the oven, we have turkey number 2. And I don't know about y'all, but I cook my food all night slow cook. I cut that bird open. Let me show y'all. I cut the bird open, split her down the middle, and get her cooking, right? Cooked all night on 220. She is good and ready. Good and ready. Good and ready. Good and ready. You hear me? And let me show you something else. What else are we doing here in my kitchen before we go out to the observation tent? I just want y'all to know that you can do a lot of things in a short amount of time, but you just have to have a method to your madness, right? In this next pan, we got some good old tomatoes because we about to stew down some tomatoes and make some good sauce. So what I have is some fresh tomatoes that I got from the farm. And baby, these are about to be stewed up. The skin has been removed. And we're about to stew these up and make some good sauce with my own broth. I know what's in it. Ain't gonna be no additives. It's gonna be Angel's Way. La Genevieve. The way, the way, the way. So we're gonna slowly cook these down, let them stew down. And then we're gonna package those up to have some good old sauce. And finally, in my kitchen this morning, we have something I want to show y'all. Listen. I just took out of the oven freeze-dried garbanzo beans. Chickpeas. Y'all know chickpeas, right? Let me tell y'all something. Do y'all know that you can eat vegetables as snacks versus sugary things? Like, I love potato chips. But baby, you know why I like potato chips? I like potato chips because of the crunch. That's really what it's all about. But did you know that you can cook chickpeas and put them in the freeze dryer and get your good crunch on. These are fully done. They have been freeze dried and seasoned and freeze dried. And they kind of satisfy the crunchiness that you like to have in potato chips. So it's an alternative. I am eating chickpeas, garbanzo beans, and I have packed up, I cooked 4 trays of them. I don't get snack. I get food. So I bagged up. I did 4 trays. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bags of chickpeas that I can eat as snacks. Or I can bring them back to Constitution and eat them as a meal. The choice is absolutely mine, right? So the purpose of this live, I rebuke that chant in the name of Jesus. I rebuke everything about that evil chant, and you need to repent. You need to repent before God comes for you, because he don't play about me. Okay? So anyway, better ask God to forgive you. So anyway, that's all that's in the kitchen this morning. So now we're going to go outside and check on. Let me show y'all something. Y'all see this money tree right here? She is 7 years old. I grew her from a little baby like that. She's 7. She's 7 years old and taller than me. She's taller than me. I think that is the most beautiful thing. So let's go outside. Today I'm going to be putting together some of my green stalks that came. But before I do that, I'm going to take you all into the observation tents to see what's happening in the observation tents. And here's what's happening along the way. Look at that. Here's what's happening in the garden along the way. So we are going into the observation tents, tent number 1 first. And then we'll go to observation area number 2. And then we'll go into the observation area number 3. So we're going into observation tent number 1. Oh my goodness, it's looking good. Ooh, it's very moist in here though. Ooh, I need to give some airflow. Okay, here's what I'm noticing. All right, you can see that everything is still very green in here. It needs some air though. I realized, oh my God, look at all those blooms over there. The ground is so moist because it has fabric on it, right? But this soil, this ground is very moist. But y'all look at it. Oh, look at here. We got a blushing tomato. We got a blushing tomato. Let's go. We got plenty of flowers still growing. Tomatoes are still doing well. This one looks a wreck, so we're going to have to pull that one off because it's looking kind of bad. Let's go and get it off. Let's keep going. See what we see. Looks like something may have gotten a little too much water, because when that starts to happening, that means you got too much water going on. And remember I talked a little bit about the specks. I talked a little bit about the specks I was seeing on the basil. I'm still seeing a little bit more of it, so I'm thinking I better start taking some of the basil in the house and preserving it so that it's not full of spots. So what I'm going to start doing is cutting it back, because I was really trying to see how long But I'm gonna cut the tops of it so it doesn't get, and if it grows back, it grows back. But at least I won't miss out on the veggies. Cause look at this one. This one is wet too. It's spotty, so it's getting some frost or something. So we're gonna need to pull some of them. But it is very, very moist in this tent. So, and I haven't been in here all week, so yeah, it's real moist. But these tomatoes are getting heavy. These two that I pulled up are growing, so they're now heavy, heavy. They're falling down, so we're gonna have to tie those up. We've got some new blooms here. We got some more new blooms here, but look, we got something's in the tent because I'm seeing these little droppings, and that's like poop. That's somebody's poop. I don't know whose, but one of these, it's an insect in here that's laying things. So we gotta watch out. Something got in here, and before you know it, they be done ate the whole plant up. But hey there, Andrea, what's happening? We're doing Observation Monday, and these tomatoes are looking beautiful. So this is the tent, observation tent number 1, where all the tomatoes are. Like I said, we're getting new tomatoes down here as well. Let me see. Yep, and they're looking good. Still looking good. Lots of blooms. Oh my, look at that one back there. That's got a ton of blooms. I did notice that this is getting a little rot. So we're gonna have to get rid of that. Um this tomato plant is still also doing well. No new blooms on her though. I do see a mosquito hanging off of there. Can y'all see it? Some kind of little bugger. Um, I don't see any new blooms on this particular branch, but the greens are doing good in there. You see that? But look at this one. Y'all see all them blooms? And we got new tomatoes over here too. Any down here? Y'all see what I see? Man. Y'all see that? Look at that. It is very moist, very lot of moisture in the tent. So let's look at this pepper, see if it's getting any larger, and it is. It's still growing. It's coming out of its shell. Um, there's one down there, and this basil actually looks real good, but this is the youngest basil plant. But like I said, these ones with the black spots on them have been touched by the cold. So I'm gonna start cutting them back. This is what I was observing for to see how well they would do. It's now November 23rd or 4th. And we're going to start pulling those leaves and cutting these herbs back so I don't lose them. That's the goal, not to lose them, to observe to see how long they can last, and then make moves to secure them. Over here, ooh, look at there. So that's the tomato area, but looky. Do y'all see all them blooms on that pepper plant back there? My goodness, hold on. Let me see if I can step down onto this plastic. I'm gonna have to open this tent because it needs some air. I'm gonna have to open the windows. But look at this. Remember I told you that this pepper plant had all of these new leaves? Well, y'all see the new blooms? It's got new blooms this week. Look at all that. And it's got a lot of peppers I need to get off of it. And look at its companions down here. Collars just shooting up everywhere. These were planted in the bag to test to see how they would thrive at the bottom of these summer plants. So summer and winter plants are planted together in here. So yeah, I'm super excited. This one is another one with a bunch of new babies, but y'all should see all these new blooms that's about to bloom on this thing. It is loving it out here. So it's another one back here that's also doing well. Look down there. That's that. Is that broccoli? Yeah, that's broccoli, I believe, down there. But look at this. Beautiful. Beautiful. So like I said, it's time for us to peel back these leaves that are spotted. We're going to get rid of those, and we're going to cut these basil back. Cut the basil back. That's something we're going to do this week. Cut the basil back. Y'all see this mint? Look at this mint. It didn't grew. It didn't grew double. Y'all see all those new baby leaves? This is tent number one. Look at these tomatoes. This is the most recent tomato I rescued and said, let me just take it in the tent and see what it does. Let me just take it in there and see if I can see what happens with it. Tent number one. Y'all see those collards down there? How much they've grown? Okay, so look at this one. Now this is the one that's in the worst condition. All the spottiness on it. This is the one in the worst condition. So we're gonna really cut this one all the way back. I'm probably gonna take it completely out so that it doesn't struggle anymore and I don't lose the plant. Oh, my lemons are lemoning. Look at there, y'all. The lemons are lemoning. Yes, yes, and yes to my lemons. Woo, woo, woo. We are lemoning, y'all. And our clementines are bouncing back well. Remember how yellow they were? They're coming around. They lost a few leaves, but baby, they didn't lose their fruit. Look at there. They didn't lose their fruit. All right, so the lemons are doing well. Everything's doing good. We got to start cutting back the herbs, the basil, because we don't want to lose it. So we're going to start cutting it back. This tent is observation tent number one, and we have had some major progress because we got blushing tomatoes in here, and I'm super excited, y'all. Super, super excited. I think this is that's a hot pepper. I don't want to touch that, y'all, because I had a hot face last week. Um, this is another citrus. I'm trying to see if it has any blooms. I know that we were talking about the leaves. Well, you notice that the leaves aren't yellowing anymore. They're not yellowing anymore, and they have a ton of new, beautiful leaves. New, beautiful leaves. Super excited about that. This one is another citrus. I noticed that it's not just the citrus growing in here, but there's a lot of weeds in this one. So we have to make sure we pull these weeds out. Not sure why there's so many weeds, but I guess if everything else can grow, the weeds can too, right? What I do notice though, y'all, look at that. And do y'all see that bloom down there? There's a bloom. Let's go, Myler Lemon. All right, here's another one of those pepper plants over here. Y'all, I am just flabbergasted at these peppers and how well they're doing with these winter vegetables. Can y'all see that? This is observation tent number one. I am located in zone 8 where none of these things thrive at this time of the year. And so we decided to put together some observation tents. Tent number one would have vegetables that were all planted in bags, right? This is an entire mobile bag garden, all right? Mobile bag summer winter garden because, baby, everything in here is thriving. I'm looking at how big this collard plant is over here. Y'all see how big that collard plant is right there? Inside that bag with that. It's got 4 plants in that bag. There are 4 plants in this bag right here where my finger is. 4. 3 collards and a, we'll call them things again. God, I keep forgetting that's age. Um, the herb, the herb plant, the basil, the basil. It took me a minute, but I'm just excited. Look at this. Look at this. This is a kale. This is a broccoli. This one has 3 plants in it. Look, 3 plants are thriving in this one bag. 3 plants. A broccoli. That's another broccoli. And y'all, something is definitely in here eating because I keep seeing it's no, not that. No, they're not eating them leaves. But I did see something on the tomatoes, and it's got little poop up there. So it's almost like it's a hornworm poop, but I don't see no hornworms in here because they not living right about this time. But y'all, what y'all think about that? What y'all thinking about that in tent number one? It is so moist in here, and the condensation is just dripping down on the plants. It's nice temperature in here, but I can see the condensation dripping from the top of the tent. Oops, from the top of the tent. So, but look at this summer. I want to show y'all this summer plant, this summer annual. This is a summer annual. Remember I told y'all that this is an annual and it doesn't thrive in the winter. Look at that new bloom. Look at it. Isn't that awesome? Okay, let's go to tent number two. Now, tent number two is an outside tent that has plants that are in the ground. Summer plants that are in the ground. That's the difference. This is tent number one, the ones that are in bags. We got to open that window. This is tent number two, which is outside, partially covered, and it has all outdoor in the ground plants. So we're going to come inside and see what's happening. Y'all, y'all see how green this thing still is? Look at it. Look. Look. Y'all see them tomatoes over there? They still there. They still hanging, still yet hanging on. And this one, somebody been in here because somebody made this fall, or maybe it fell on its own because it's got a bunch of branches on it though. It's got a bunch of tomatoes. I need to tie that up because it fell over. It's a part of this plant right here. So let me see if I can stand up and give y'all a good tour. This ground is nice and wet too. Because it rained here, but so the soil is staying moist, which means that these are getting a lot of water. They're nice and green, you know. We have a few yellowing leaves this week, which is normal. We're just going to take them off. But the leaves themselves, the plants themselves are doing amazing. Look at that. This is tent number two. Y'all hear my chickens? I don't know why they crying. They wanted to come outside. They outside and they still fussing. I'm just taking these leaves off while I'm in here. Look at that. We got more tomatoes coming in up there. They don't have much space to grow though, so I'm going to have to lift this tent up because I want them to grow as long as they can. This is a test. This is a test tent. If they stop growing, they stop growing. I just want to, as a researcher, want to see and compare the tents and their growth and sustainability, their ability to keep growing and thriving. Look at those tomatoes we showed y'all last week. Look how big they are. Last week they were just nubs. The thing is, I'll have pictures because of my videos, so I can always go back and grab pictures to do comparisons. That's the good thing about doing these videos. So we're going to take all these bad leaves off because that'll help me to measure, you know, the amount of growth and or deterioration of the plant each week. So we are on week 4 of this. Look at that. Look at that. That's a big one. And it is November 20 whatever, y'all, right? 24th. All right, so we got all that off. So those are the tomatoes. Look at that hiding back there. So again, these are all in ground. The plants are even the flowers are still growing as well. We've had some frost, but this tent is protecting them. You know, it's taking the wind chill off, and it's also taking the wind chill off, but also keeping the frost from touching the plants. And so that also helps. But we're going to take all of these bad leaves off, and then we're going to, so you can see that they're coming off. We want to see what happens next week, whether there's a difference, or if there is, how much of a difference, right? More flowers. Look at that. I love this for us. This is a great experiment. I'm loving it because I want to do more writing and adding to the agricultural space. I'll write about the differences and comparisons between this tent and the other. We have three tents: tent 1, tent 2, and tent 3. And they all have summer plants in them that we are observing. This is the citrus plant, are the only one that's in the ground, and it's doing well. It's doing not the only one that's in the ground. Y'all see them blooms? So y'all see the fruit. There's fruit all over this plant. If you can see it, there's fruit that's popping in all over this plant. Can you see it? Fruit. That's fruit. And this is a Meyer Mexican lime bush. It's been in the ground since the summer. And this is our mandarin orange. It died last year because it got hit by the frost. But look at it, baby. She done came back. She is doing well. And we're not going to let the frost get to her this year. We're going to keep her, because this is actually the season that citrus actually grows. But because the frost hits here, it stops the progress. So this is tent number 2, thriving and doing very, very well. We're going to go on over to tent number 3. And tent number 3 is our nursery area. And in here, hold on. In here we have, let's see if I can get this open without a struggle. In here we have patio pots, patio troughs, should I say. And there's only 2 of them that I am observing because they are summer plants. So in here, it's nice and warm. This is our nursery. This is our drying space where our seeds are drying. Seed shells, stuff is drying. I've put a lot of things out, so I'm gonna have a lot of things going on in here. But this is our experiment. This is our, oh God, she is doing so beautifully. This is our baby. This is our patio tomato. We are measuring to see how she's gonna do in here in this tent. So the difference between these and the ones in the tent 1 and tent 2 is that they are in these troughs. They're not in the ground, they're not bags, they're in patio troughs. So that's the difference between them. And we're coming to see how they're doing. And look, there's hardly any blight. There's tons of new fruit. The tomatoes themselves are growing very well because these are small tomatoes. These are patio tomatoes. So these aren't those great big ones. Then we have more fruit up here. Just doing absolutely beautiful. No bad leaves this week. I'm very, very impressed. Very impressed with the progress. Oh, there's one down there too. So I'm so impressed with the progress. And I'm also impressed with the peppers, because look at this. Look at these green peppers. And there's one down there. There's the blight has stopped. There's no blight. Remember we had some blight on these plants like this right here? Well, the blight has stopped. The leaves are looking better. And they're hanging out with lettuce. They're hanging out with lettuce. So the lettuce is even doing well. Like I said, I do cold and warm together when I'm observing things. And there's a bunch of lettuce in here that's growing alongside these peppers. And there's a lot of noise in my background because they are doing some work out there in the woods, in the trenches. But everything looks so good. I need to come in here and give some. Ooh, look at these apples. They are really growing. Let's look at my apple trees. Y'all see that? Those are my apple trees. They are growing so nice. They needed a break from all that heat. This one even came back. Look at it. This is the baby of the bunch. And I don't know what else is in here, but it looks like some other seeds are in here. And in here, I don't know what, but it's looking good. I'm super excited about the progress of my observation tools. So that really does conclude my observation Monday. And let's just walk on through. Might as well walk on through to see what else is happening. This is our broccoli hanging out here in this little baby crib. And what are these called, y'all? These are, what's the name of them? Anybody know what these are? I drew a blank. I can't call the name of them right now. I have to remember so much, and sometimes I just forget. But these are broccoli, 3 broccolis in here, and they have grown beautifully. Over here is a mobile garden outdoors all winter. Look at that baby. And the winter garden is doing splendid. This is it at a glance. This is our winter garden. Our winter mobile garden, because we have more gardens. So this is doing so well. Onions. Our collard trees are coming back. These are our Brussels, and they are doing beautiful. And I see the celery coming in finally. And these are, I want to say, I thought they were collards, but the way they rounding off, they're probably cabbage, because they are rounding off like they're trying to get ahead. This is lettuce and cauliflower. I've been waiting to see if I had a cauliflower come through, but I don't see one yet. Maybe soon. Looks like it's shaping up down there. Not yet though, but these are definitely cauliflowers over here. All right, let's go and look at our new bed. This is our new bed. And this is our kohlrabi and collards. Doing well. These are also collards, doing well. Just a quick scan of what's happening in the garden. We have shut down the orchard because the orchard, we have had to get all of the roselle out, and so we got all the roselle out, and we have put in blackberries in their place. so that when it comes back in the spring, we'll have it'll be more blackberry than anything else over here. So we've shut down the orchard. It's shut down for the winter. And all we have here is figs. We planted more figs. We planted a ton of blackberries here and here. Need to cover that up, but I wanted to give it some fertilizer first. Lemongrass is still here. This apple tree did not bear any fruit. I expect it to bear some next year. So it's looking good. And these are figs. They're dying back, but that's what they're supposed to do. Our blueberry, we're going to come and cut her back, cut her trunks a little bit. And look at there, a blackberry. I don't want to eat it because sometimes there'll be bugs in between them. So you have to be really careful. Even though it's organic, you still have to be careful because it be little bugs down in the crevices. So I'll leave this for the birds. I've took the bananas and took the leaves off of there and put those to sleep. We're getting ready to work on these grapevines and wrap them around a little bit. Give them some room to grow down here. So we have a grapevine, like it just growing. I'm gonna put a couple more sticks or posts in the ground here and down here along here so that these grapevines, so that we can establish a true grapevine. Because that gave me a hard time this year, but it worked. It still worked. What else do we have going on? Let's go to this back garden back here. So you can see what the newbies are doing. The new broccoli and the new cabbage. These are already forming though. I'm expecting these to do absolutely amazing because they are already forming. These are the cabbage, and they are already getting their shape. So this bed is doing well here. Remember, these two beds were not doing well at all. And I had to I redid them, amended the soil, and put them on the fast track to success. So these are from seed back here. These are all from seed. I noticed that there's some bites out of these, so there's been something back here chewing that stuff. And these are all doing well here too. These are all cabbage, well-rounded, and I'm loving it. They obviously love where they are living right now, and I think that that's important. When something loves where it's living, it thrives. And these are really thriving well. So these are our cabbage. I think that's all I have to show you all today. It's an amazing journey growing food, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I mean, it is the most beautiful experience to be able to grow food. If you are not already doing so, you should. Because we need to take back our power. We also have another tomato here. Look, that's the baby from last week. I took one off. It's inside. It was blushing last week, and but yeah, our towers are busting at the seams with food. This is our Russian kale, lettuce and spinach, regular kale, turnips. No, that's a radish. Radish. Yep. Bok choy. Really, really thriving here, along with the spinach and lettuce. This is a butternut lettuce and romaine lettuce. And these are our beautiful red lettuces, which are also doing well alongside our spinach. which absolutely is loving it here. But you know what? There has been that cutting bug. There's a cutter bug, a bug that comes and literally cuts the leaves off of your plants. it's, it's the most worrisome that I've ever seen. But that's what I have for today, family. That's our quick Monday overview. And today later on today, I'm going to be putting together these green stalks. I have three of them that I'm going to be putting together here so that we can have some more vegetables. So, what do you have got going on in your garden? That noise is overwhelming. I know that y'all probably like, why is she still going with all that noise? Well, I'm super sorry that all that noise was happening, but yep, I'm super. Okay, it's time for me to have a little lunch and wash my hands really quickly. But it's definitely time for me to have a little lunch and check on some emails. I'm running a marketing campaign right now. So, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed the tour, the overview. We got to see all the progress. It is fall. It is still fall. I don't know what will happen in the winter. We do have the threat of some very cold weather, so we'll see. We'll see how it measures up, right? So, yeah. Let me check these tomatoes. See how, yep, they are doing nice. Let those keep cooking down, but I am really hungry. What are you going to eat? Okay, so I'm going to let you all go because I got to get something to eat. I'm super hungry. All right, so it was so nice touring with you all, and I hope you have the most amazing day. Whatever you do, don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to building a strong home economy. All right, bye for now.